All right. Some of you guys expressed some concern about using, finding out interest, inflation, depreciation, all that kind of stuff that's going to be on your quiz tomorrow. So I thought I'd just run through a problem here and see if we can help you out. I apologize that the audio is bad. We're using the, document camera and all that, but it'll work out, okay? So first thing first I would say is you got to make sure you read first and write down what you're going to do. You don't have to write it out everything exact, but I think a lot of people are getting stuck because they're trying to use the calculator first instead of first making a game plan. So you got to read, understand the situation, make a game plan, then pick up your calculator. If you do that, you're going to work your way through this and you're going to get better and better and faster at it. So, Ines invests $500,000 in an illegitimate Illinois Internet Incorporation. Man, always avoid alliterations. She's going to receive 8.1% compound annual return. So compound interest, 8.1%. And the inflation over the same time period is 3.2. So, time period says what is the real value of the investment at the end of 5 years? So that's our time period, right? That's T. This is the principal, right? That's your rate. And that's your inflationary rate. So let's see here. Round your answer to the nearest dollar. The way I would do this is I would first figure out how much money she has at the end of 5 years, and then I would figure out what is that money's value compared to today, and we're going to do that with two different formulas. So the amount is the principal, 1 plus the rate to the power of t, right? Because we're doing annuals, so we don't have to worry about anything else. So we're just going to plug all these things in here. So we're going to figure out how much money she has with interest first, and then we're going to figure out what that means with inflation. So we're going to do this first. So let's see, 500,000, 1.081 to the power of 5. Now the reason it's 1.081 is we have 100% of this plus 0.81. See, it's 1 stands for the 100% of the principal plus the interest, and then number of years. So let's see here. We've got 500,000 times 1.081 to the power of 5. That gives us 738,071.5652. Now, one thing, usually with these questions, there's a couple different answers that will work. Like, for example, depending on how you round and when you round, you could do it appropriately one way or another. So there's usually a range of answers. Often it's best not to round until you're all the way done. And since we're not really asked how much she made, I'm not going to round this number. I'm going to leave that in my calculator. And I'm going to use that calculator to figure out the inflation. So the way the inflation works is the new value is the original, right? The original 1 plus the rate to the power of t. So the original is this, okay? That's not really, we're trying to figure out how much is this really worth in the future. So I have to divide that. The inflation rate was 3.2, so 1.32. Raise that to the power of 5. So 630,521.62. Now it says to round to the nearest dollar. So here's where the dollar would be. So my answer is going to be 630,522. So what that means is she will actually have that much money in the bank. But in today's value, or the value of that money in 5 years will actually be what this would be worth today. So that's the actual value in terms of today's money. This is how much she'll actually have. All right? Now let's run through one other thing real quick. Percent of change. So let's do percent change. The way that works is you take the old value and the new value and you find their difference. Don't really worry about the sign. You'll say positive or negative or whatever, depending on whatever it is, and you divide by the original one. And then, of course, you make that into a percentage, so you multiply by 100, right? So, percent of change. Let's say Johnny on his first test gets a 62. And on the second test, he gets an 84. And we want to figure out what's the percent of change. There's first, there's second, right? So, 62 minus 84 divided by 62, whatever that turns out to be as a percentage. So, 62 minus 84 divided by 62. 62 minus 84 divided by 62. So that is a 35.4, I don't know, 35.5% change. So that's how that works. So anyway, I hope you guys are going to do well tomorrow, and hope this helps. Talk to you soon.